This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Alright, so we did not get a bomb rare. I mean, this one's decent enough if you're in the werewolf deck, but it's not so good that you take it before you're in the werewolf deck. Yeah, our uncommons aren't great. I mean, I think these two are playable. This one has been kind of a bummer. I kind of like cards like this usually in more controlling decks, but this format is both fast, is just too fast for it to work out, basically. I think we take Flame Blessed Bolt here. It's not the most exciting first pick. I do like Traveling Minister as well. I think those are the two best cards in this pack. Hookhand Mariner is probably the third best, so this is a pretty weak pack overall. This does have a higher ceiling than that other stuff, but it's hard to make it work. I think we just take the Bolt. Kills things. I mean, being able to kill X2s. There's so many creatures with 2 or less toughness in this format that have death triggers or stuff they do from the graveyard that it's just powerful. I mean, it would be good anyway, but the fact it deals with stuff like that makes it even better. Okay, so I like Braincomber a reasonable amount. But this pack has Lantern Flare, which is pretty good. You do have to end up in a deck with a decent number of creatures for it to really be good, but most decks do. There's also an Abrade. I wonder which of these is better. Is Abrade better than Lantern Flare? I mean, it takes less work, but Lantern Flare obviously has a way, way higher ceiling. It can win you games out of nowhere because of all the life gain and its ability to kill stuff. Man, it's close, though. I mean, Abrade does more with less going on, and Lantern Flare does more if you have a decent board state. I think that means Abrade is just going to be better, but it's very close. Yeah. It is close. Not a bad first 2 picks, though. Okay, so we've got some interesting picks here. There's a Foreboding Statue. I do like this card. I've come down on it a little bit as the format seems to be so fast that it's not incredible, but it's still pretty good. Makes it so you can fix a little, makes it so you can splash bombs. We'd have a really good red 2-drop here in Blood Petal Celebrant, and a couple of good white cards. Drogskull Infantry and Griffwing Cavalry are both pretty nice. Thirst for Discovery is a nice card too, but it's really Celebrant or Statue, I think. I think I go Statue in the end. I mean, I have come down on it a little bit for a while. I was like, it's one of the best uncommons in the set, and it's not quite that good. But it is pretty good. So I think we take the Statue. Okay. Here, I think we take Wolf Strike. I do like the Epicure. It's a very nice 1-drop, but Wolf Strike is a great removal spell. And, you know, we've already got 2 of those, but I'll take more of them. If we're in red-green, we're more likely to be interested in the Statue, too. Which matters a little bit. Okay. Not a great pack. I mean, this Signpost is pretty good. This one's been kind of a letdown. Decent white cards. I'm kind of leaning towards just taking the Wilds in a pack like this, just because it doesn't have anything. I'm really that excited about, like Militia Rallier and Markov Purifier are things I'm kind of interested in. But yeah, I think we take the Wilds. So if we get a bomb that's off color, we're going to be able to play it most likely, which is cool. Okay. It is awkward when the colors you're in don't seem to be open at all. I think I like Gift of Fangs the most here. Another nice removal spell. Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's very unclear what colors we're going to end up in. I do like Edgar's Awakening in the right deck, but I think Gift of Fangs is nice to have. The good news is, you know, if, let's say, we end up not playing red, we do have the means to splash Abrade pretty easily, so that's nice. I'm less interested in splashing, like, Wolf Strike, but, yeah. Okay, so white seems reasonably open. These 3 white cards are all quite nice. I think I like Griff Rider the most of them, of the 3 of them. It's, you know, it's pretty easy to train because it has flying. The Geist is good, but only if you end up with enough enchantments, and if you're not in blue-white, it's hard to do it. And Militia Rallier is a nice white card too, and I think those 3 all still being here is a pretty good sign. Okay. Nothing great here for basically anyone. The Shield Basher's okay. As I've talked about, everything that is an expensive X2 is worse in this set than it would normally be because of Flame Blessed Bolt and Gift of Fangs and Radiant Light or whatever it's called. So you have 3 commons that can just kill them for 1 mana. That said, it's probably our pick here. It's not a bad card. It's just not as good as it looks because of the context of the format. Okay, yeah, I guess we take Honeymoon Hearse. If we end up with enough creatures, I don't hate playing it in an aggro deck. This other stuff is all very mediocre, so I'm down. All right, here we'll take a Rallier. We have another Geist, but I like the Rallier a fair bit in like a red-white aggro deck more than I like Heron Blessed Geist. Sanguine Statuette is kind of interesting to still be here. It's a nice card in like aggressive blood decks, but it's harder to make work than Militia Rallier, that's for sure. Bunch of bad cards. I mean, this one is the one that has the most upside, basically. Cradle of Safety is probably easier to make work, actually. We'll take the Cradle. We can pass those 2 white cards. I don't care if other people get them. These are both very playable cards. I think I like Reckless Impulse a little more. If we keep our curve low enough, it's nice. I'll take another Militia Rallier pretty happily. So we did pass some white early, but it does feel like white is open enough. Okay, this is a pretty sweet build around that we got beat by earlier today in a blood deck, but obviously that's not where we are. We probably just take Ballista Watcher. It's, you know, we just lost to this card too. It's very good, you know, especially once it transforms, but it's a great card. Even if it was only the front, it would be a very good card, and it's not. You know, we wouldn't hate if another Reckless Impulse or Belligerent Guest Wield. We definitely take the Watcher. I don't hate the Hunter. You know, if we end up in red-green, the Hunter's nice, but I'm not convinced we are going to end up there at this point. Well, we do get a spiked Ripsaw here, which intrigues me a little more about going into green. I do like Blood Petal Celebrant a lot. It's got nice stats, hard to block, gives you good blood. I do think the Ripsaw is a stronger card, and it's not like our white cards are incredible. So I'm kind of leaning in the direction of Ripsaw here. I mean, our 1 green card is better than our 3 white cards are. So, yeah, I think we take the Ripsaw here and see what happens. I think it's good enough to take over. I mean, these are both nice, but I like the Ripsaw a little more. Okay. Valdarin Estate is always interesting. Interesting picks here. So if we ended up in red-green, I do like the Ridge Wolf a fair bit and Weaver of Blossoms, which would let us splash. But there's also just a Flame Blessed Bolt, and I think that's probably just where we go. Yeah. Okay, so interesting. We do have a Foreboding Statue which makes Brambleworm more attractive. If we're going to be red-green, and if we're red-green, we're going to be a faster deck. It does mean Reckless Impulse isn't going to be very good. We do have a decent number of spells, which are the Raconteur would like, but I think we probably just take Brambleworm and continue in this red-green direction. Okay, so Alluring Suitor is better if we're in red-white, but it's perfectly fine in red-green. I'm actually surprised it's still here. It's a very strong uncommon. It can just do so much when it transforms, and it's very easy to transform. I like it a lot more than Ripsaw for comparison, and I was happy to take a Ripsaw a minute ago. Epicure is nice, especially in the blood deck, but yeah, we take Suitor. I do like Arm the Cathars a fair bit too, but we're taking Alluring Suitor there. Okay, so I'm continuing to be pulled more into green. This is a solid card. We do need to pick up more Wolves and Werewolves to really take advantage of it, but I think we can do that. And I think that is what we do here. I wouldn't mind a Flourishing Hunter, but we do already have Brambleworm, so we're not as desperate. And right now, more Wolves and Werewolves are good. More Ramp is good because we've got Brambleworm. So yeah, I think we take the Weaver. Okay, so our curve isn't great, and that means we'll take Visionaries, not incredible, but it might still be the pick here. Snarling Wolf obviously sets up a lot of our Wolf synergies. Our curve's not terrible, though, is the thing, and this drawing you a card and transforming is just so good. So, I mean, yeah, we're going to have some more expensive cards, which is less than ideal, but we'll take a Statuette here, if only to cut red. These other things aren't going to make it into our deck, so... Okay, we'll take a Celebrants here. I don't mind having it. Another thing that's not bad to ramp into when you have 2 3-drops. Oh, awesome. So we get a Ridge Wolf, which I think is a big pickup. Yeah, so I think we picked the right lane here, and I think now we're more interested in Snarling Wolf than like Daybreak Combatants. We're getting more wolf stuff going, so yeah, we're not playing... None of those white cards are even worth splashing, but... The Statue and the Weaver go quite well with a Brambleworm and stuff like that. Don't hate Toxic Scorpion either. It also is a funny combo with our... If we have 1,000,000 mana, it's a funny combo with Ballista Watcher. Okay, so... Yeah, Dominating Vampire. How many vampires do we have? We have 2. You know, you need like 4 or 5 before you feel like this is doing what you need it to. Markov Waltzer is pretty good and wouldn't be a terrible thing to splash, but you kind of need it, the mana for it at the exact right time. And, you know, for us to have the mana for it, we're usually going to be tapping a creature. I think we probably just go with the Ridge Wolf in the end here. You know, this has a way higher ceiling, but we're not incredibly likely to take advantage. Of course, we picked up a Ridge Wolf crazy late, so that may mean it's going to wheel. Maybe I just do take Dominating Vampire. Yeah, I think we do. If I hadn't just seen a Ridge Wolf wheel, I would have been less inclined to do that, but we did. So, I think, you know, keep an eye out for another Vampire or 2. It'll make the cut no matter what, because, you know, sometimes it'll steal like a 1 or... There are real 1-drops in this set for it to steal, so, yeah. Okay, so Sawblade Slinger isn't bad. There are enough things for it to go after. Our curve could use some help, but I'm not that interested in Wary Prisoner, despite its creature type. We do have enough humans that maybe Dawnheart Disciple's just better than the Sawblade Slinger is. We don't have 1,000,000 humans at this point, but we have enough. Yeah, I think we'll take Dawnheart Disciple. Okay, so there's an Epicure. I think we're interested in grabbing a Wolf, though, and I like Sporeback Wolf enough to take it here. Epicure, much better in red-white and black-red than it is in red-green. It's perfectly fine here, and I would take one, but I want some wolves. Another Ripsaw is interesting. This is a wolf. Not a great one, and I don't know that I'm so desperate for wolves that I want to be grabbing a Lightning Wolf. Is Ripsaw worse in multiples? It, like, kind of is. Maybe I just take Belligerent Guest. It's another vampire, and it's a nice creature in general. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. This pack is stupid. We still got... I mean, Runebound Wolf isn't good for everybody, but it is for us. But then we also have Wolf Strike and another Flame Blessed Bolt. Goodness. Man. So Wolf, Werewolf. We're doing well on them already. Not, like, incredible. I think we got to take Wolf Strike. We've already got 2 bolts. This will kill more things. We have big creatures who will transform. So, yeah, I think we go with Wolf Strike over Runebound Wolf, which is sad, but you got to do what you got to do, you know. We'll take another Dawnheart Disciple here. Again, this is a wolf, but I'm not so desperate for wolves that I'm like, yeah, give me a Lightning Wolf. I'd rather have a Disciple. Okay, so in this pack, we may actually take the Lightning Wolf, because I'm not that interested in our other options. Sure Strike's not a bad trick, but this gives us synergy. You know, if there were other options in the pack, I think I'd go for them. This would help us splash a little, dig up wood, but we don't have anything worth splashing, really. So I think we just take Lightning Wolf. And I think we just take a Snarling Wolf here. Yeah. the wolves are still here. We didn't end up with as many payoffs as I would have liked, but we ended up with a decent number. We have enough ramp for Brambleworm. We don't need to go any harder on it, I don't think. So here's another wolf, but we don't have that many payoffs anyway. I guess it's what we take here. I doubt we play it, though. I was hoping one of those Hungry Ridge Wolves would wheel, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen for us. Don't hate that late Epicure. Don't hate the late Lightning Wolf. Don't hate the late Lacerate Flesh. I mean, our colors were open, obviously. I don't know how many of those are going to make the cut, but those are all playable cards, you know. We didn't get garbage like Cartographers, whatever, and stuff like that. Okay. So, when it comes to wolf payoffs, we've got Wolfkin Outcast and Hungry Ridge Wolf, and I think that might be it. So in the end, we didn't end up with that many payoffs, other than the fact that we like for it to be night, so Wolf Strike's a little better in our deck than in others. We ended up with 6 Vampires, which is plenty for a Dominating Vampire. So yeah, we need to trim the deck down here. I don't really feel like we're in need of Lacerate Flesh. It's a big, clunky removal spell, and we have plenty of better ones. We're not desperate for Lightning Wolves, frankly. Honeymoon Hearse may get axed here just because we don't have... I mean, we have a lot of creatures, but it might not be worth it. Oh yeah, Voltaic Visionary is probably not amazing in this deck. I mean, at worst, it's a 2-mana 3/1, and then we can transform it like late, but it doesn't seem awesome for us overall. Neither does Impulse. Both of these cards that want you to have a low curve, like casting one of them and hitting like Brambleworm is not fun. I think the Visionary is probably a little better than the Impulse will be in the deck, though. Yeah. I mean, we don't have a crazy high curve, but it's high enough that I don't think I want Impulse in the deck. Yeah, Lightning Wolves, I think, are going to get the axe. Because we still have 6 Wolves and 3... So, we'd still have enough for our Outcast and stuff to be good, and Lightning Wolf is definitely not exciting. That does lower our curve significantly. Hearse isn't great. Toxic Scorpion is definitely not amazing either, even with this combo, you know, having access to it. I think we probably end up cutting Scorpion, probably the Hearse. The only interesting thing about the Hearse is that it is pretty good with Wolf Strike. That's true of the Death Toucher too, but yeah, the Hearse isn't great. One more cut. I think I like the 1 Epicure. We don't have any real way to use the blood, but just the blood upside of the card is nice. Also makes our Dominating Vampire slightly better. I mean, this is generally going to cost more, like, on average, like 5-ish. Yeah, we do need more low drops for the Hearse, it's true, than we probably have. One more cut, and I don't think it should be a land. Is it a Falconwrath Celebrants? Maybe. We have enough blood that I think running 17 lands is fine. I mean, we have the 2 Celebrants, we've got Belligerent Guest, and we've got the Epicure. It's not an insane amount of blood, but it's enough that we don't have to worry about flooding that much. You know, we have a few outs from the flood. Visionary is kind of what I keep coming back to, but our curve, on average, I guess, is low enough. You know, we have enough low things that it's going to be able to do its thing on turn 3, like, most of the time. Yeah, maybe it's a Snarling Wolf. It does weaken some of our cards ever so slightly. I mean, that would take us down to 6 wolves, which makes it less likely we can play this early and stuff like that, but maybe it's just the Epicure. Maybe I should care less about the Epicure in this deck. I probably should. Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky last card cut, I think. Well, I think it's probably a Snarling Wolf. I mean, we're not so in on Wolf synergy that we have to get there or anything like that, so... the question is whether Sporeback Wolf is better than Snarling Wolf, though. And I'm not sure that it is in this deck. I actually don't think it is. I think I'd rather have Snarling Wolf than Sporeback Wolf, yeah. I don't think something most people would go out of their way for, but I guess there's other people who can't really eat pizza. So... Okay. Morning, Dragon Roost style. Well, we're not going to get to do anything fancy with our Dominating Vampire here, but just playing it as a 3-mana 3/3 is perfectly reasonable. That's a free attack, so I decided to go for it. But yeah, we'll play Dominating Vampire. We have like 5 or 6 vampires, 1 Epicure, so sometimes we'll actually, you know, be able to do a thing. Interesting. So I think I attack here with the Dominating Vampire. They're not going to double block. There's no way they would. So, yeah, the question here is whether I want to use a Braid or something like that, or just play our statue. I'm leaning in the direction of the statue. Yeah, we'll build out our board a little more. I think I block the guest with probably the Disciple if they attack us here. They do not. Okay. Well, there's not really such a thing as too much removal as long as all your removal is fairly efficient. It does depend a little on the format, but yeah, you can have too much if you like don't have a win condition, but you know. So, what to do? So I think I'm going to abrade the guest out of the way here. And then I'm going to attack with these two. If they try to double block the Dominating Vampire, I can use Wolf Strike to mess things up for them. Assuming they don't have a Braid. There's a chance they have their own Abrade. That wouldn't be very much fun if they did, would it? So we do want to kill the Runebound Wolf more, obviously. I guess if I want to use a Wolf Strike here to kill the Runebound Wolf, using it on my Dawnheart Disciple is probably slightly better. So if they do have a Braid, I don't get blown out quite as hard. Yeah. Nice. So we just wiped their board here. I can live with it. We do want to remember to use the mana from our statue, but I think bluffing that we can actually do something with it isn't a bad plan. All right. Yeah, that was a pretty brutal turn. I don't know if I would have scooped because my board presence wasn't that imposing, but yeah, obviously we wiped their whole board and only used up a single card to do it, which is rough for them, but yeah. They may have been color screwed too. That may have been all they could do, and then they just drew a card and were like, yeah, I can't play anything, so these creatures are going to kill me. That's my guess. All right, pretty good hand. We do have two different 1-drops, which is a little bit awkward, but I can live with it. So I'm not really planning on pumping the wolf on a future turn. So I think we probably just play the Epic here. Then the Disciple. I mean, I'm going to play the Wolf eventually, but I don't think it's what we want to play on turn 1 or turn 2 in this case. Alright, so we attack here. Then we'll play Dawnheart Disciple. Wow, we could have had the exact same opening if we wanted to. It's kind of funny. Alright, so let's attack with our Disciple here. Trying to decide if they want to trade. I'm kind of trying to decide if I want to trade. I think I'm okay with a trade here. Yeah. Wonder whether I want to use this blood at all. Ooh. Yeah, we're gonna have to kill that. It's actually a little tricky to do with our board right now. We're gonna have to... Yeah, that's kind of awkward. We can't Wolf Strike it because we don't have the mana to pump this and Wolf Strike it. We'll have it next turn, but next turn it'll be a 3... Yeah, we'll have time next turn, I guess, is the case. So that's not too bad. So let's attack with our Snarling Wolf here. There's basically no way they block, so... Yeah. We'll try to pump it here. Let's hope they don't have Flame Blessed Bolt. That would be bad. So next turn we can pump and use Wolf Strike to kill the Pack Song Pup. We could have used a Pack Song Pup, that's for sure. I don't think we use our blood right now. I mean, we want to get to Brambleworm mana. So drawing lands isn't that big of a deal. Oh good, another creature I really need to kill. God, I may even need to kill that one more. I guess the difference is... I'll be able to kill... Yeah. I mean, I can just pass and make it night. I kind of feel like I need to kill one of them now. And... Gosh, so awkward. Because this can kill our things that are in play, obviously. The Pack Song Pup's going to get bigger. this can just pick things off, but we don't have removal that's ever going to let us kill something if this gets too big. I'm going to attack here. But yeah, that's probably what we do, is pump and then Wolf Strike one of their creatures. It's just a question of which one. Ballista Watcher or Pack Song Pup. I mean, the good news about the pup is it's always just going to be a big creature. This has the ability to really mess us up in more ways. Yeah, we'll kill the Watcher. Hard choice. I wish they hadn't played, you know, two threats we really, really had to kill, but they did. Well, I think they missed a trigger on that. Yeah, they oopsed. So, it's gonna be tough. Dormant Grove is really good. We're gonna swing with both our creatures here. I mean, even Brambleworm isn't going to be big enough, really, to contend with the Pack Song Pup in the long run. So we hit them for 4 here. Play a Disciple. And we're 1 land shy of Brambleworm territory. Pack Song Pup, man. Such a good uncommon. Like, it's just so hard to beat in so many situations. Yeah, it's rough. All right, so we're going to take 9 here. We can't really afford to do anything else. Oh, yeah, we lose. I already thought we probably did, but, you know. Flame Blessed Bolt, you're a little late. If I had killed that Snarling Wolf at some point, that Pack Song Pup wouldn't have been as much of a problem. But I don't think there was any decision we made there that was our problem. I mean, it didn't matter what we killed, that Dormant Grove was going to come down and be pretty much game-winning. So 1 and 1. Will we find another opponent? Okay, this is a nice hand. We can, if we were on the play, transforming the suitor would be very easy. Not on the play, it's a little harder, but we still have a pretty good 1, 2, 3 curve out, and still a pretty good chance that transforms the turn we play it. If we were on the play, this hand would be completely nuts, I think. Instead of just good. Flame Blast Bolt? No. Okay. If you have to cycle your Ancestral Anger, I think I feel pretty good about things. Play Disciple. So there's a good chance they play a creature here, which will make our Alluring Suitor plan harder. Or kill one of ours. Okay, or cycle another one of those. Interesting. So they could have Syncopate or something here, but I think we just have to go for it. I think the upside is just too much. Like, if we can transform our Suitor this turn... They could also kill one of our creatures, but that's less of a problem. Yeah, it could be a Syncopate here. Okay. Looks like it's gonna happen. Nice. So we don't have anything else to use the mana on, so we may as well use the ability. You know, we didn't get to, like, really abuse it like you do sometimes where you get to, like, ramp into a thing, but it's still a pretty good thing overall. Okay. So if I pass, it becomes night. Wolfstrike gets going, but I think I probably want to play our Outcast. That's pretty sweet with a bunch of Ancestral Angers, obviously. Okay. So, I think we play... If I play a Dawnheart Disciple, I can sort of attack with all three of these. All four of these, actually. I think I like that. Wolfstrike, obviously, pretty good. But yeah, they have a bunch of mana up. So maybe I just play a little more defensively here. Let's go to combat and see what happens. Obviously, when this transforms, it's like bonkers, so... Yeah, so I don't think we attack. I think we'll play another Werewolf, though. Well, Werewolf and Snarling Wolf, yeah. Might get countered. But yeah, I think we just play out all these things. They could have the thing that does 2 to everything, which wouldn't be great for us, but... Yeah. That Weary Prisoner's doing the job right now. I mean, this is kind of the deck for it. There's not a whole lot of decks for it, but if you're like a grindy blue-red deck, Weary Prisoner does an okay job. You'd probably rather have like Biolume Egg overall, but the Prisoner isn't bad. So this next turn... Okay. That's annoying. We've been getting kind of brick-walled by stuff in this draft that isn't something I feel like has happened a ton. So yeah, that Pyre Spawn is a problem. All of these things are a problem, really. I wonder if it's just best here for me to pass my turn, let my creatures transform, and then also have Wolfstrike become more potent. Kind of feel like that's not a bad plan. I mean, they may be able to double spell, but we'll still be able to get off a Wolfstrike. So, yeah. So I think we passed the turn. We could play Disciple and leave up Wolfstrike, but I think we want to transform our board. I think that gives us the firepower we need to attack into this board. And even if they do untransform our stuff by double spelling, we'll have Wolfstrike. So it's not a huge disaster. So the Ancestral Angers make some real sense, given the situation. So they did double spell, but we're going to kill something, and... Okay, interesting. Is there a way I can set up a very advantageous block and Wolf Strike here all at once? I don't think so, unfortunately. We have 6 mana, which means... So, yeah. I think we're going to block here. You know, I'm probably getting greedy. We should probably... Yeah. We only get +2/+0 from the pump. But... Here we go. No, that won't work either. Yeah, I think we probably just Wolf Strike the attacker. We'll put a blocker on it so that... Wait a second. There we go. So yeah, then we'll Wolf Strike. They have 1 card. Is it a card that can interact somehow? Let's hope not. Okay, good sign. It's a good sign. Okay. All right. Well, that Pyre Spawn is really not my friend. And this is going to start doing some serious work. Oh, it can only exile stuff from their graveyard. Okay, won't do that much work. Okay, so I think we do attack here with Deadly Dancer. I think that's probably it. I don't hate attacking with Wolfkin Outcast, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, attack with both. See what they do here. Alright, so we are going to kill both of these things, which I like. They're then going to use this trigger to kill something, but it's not the biggest disaster in the world. Ah, you don't see that happen every day, but when you have as many Storm Chaser Drakes as they have, it's not a terrible plan. This is going to hurt. So they do 3 to what? Weaver of Blossoms, probably? Yes. I think we play Statue here. It's not looking great, though. It just sort of feels like we've been sputtering our last 2 games more than anything else. So they do have 2 creatures they can gobble up, which matters. Alright, so we're going to rumble in the air here. Man, if only we'd held on to our other mana dork. So these creatures are going to kill us in the air in a hurry if we're not careful. I mean, I could swing out here and just hope we can win this race. I mean, it's not a terrible plan. I don't love it either, though. But, like, we get in for 6 here and we lose a creature. They might even be too scared to block, which would be cool with me. No, they're not. Get them down to 9. Oh, good. Yeah, we did not do a good job. You know, as soon as that Weary Prisoner came down and we couldn't do anything about it, it was kind of over for us. One really annoying thing is that we have 2 Flame Blessed Bolts. And they would make a pretty big difference here. But they're nowhere to be found, unfortunately. Alright, so we take 4. Tap this for mana. So we are going to get to try to play our Brambleworm, which could... No, yeah, which could stabilize us. And I think that is what we need to do here. Could also transform our statue. They may be able to counter it, so... be prepared for that nightmare. Okay, they did not. Our board just became a lot more imposing, which is good news, between the Worm and the Forsaken Thresher. Alright, so we have so much mana that I think using the Visionary makes sense. You know, going to 7's a little rough, but... Aha! One of our mini Flame Blast Bolts has appeared. Okay. The Thresher is a pretty good attacker. It's not like I desperately need its mana. So I think I'd probably swing with it. Don't think we swing with Brambleworm just yet. I mean, you know, I guess I can even attack with the Snarling Wolves. They can block both of them. But they have to do it with their bigger creatures, and only one of them can die in combat, so... yeah, I think we attack with all 3 of these. See what our opponent does about it. Okay. Well, I don't have to pump anything to kill this, so... and I'd rather kill it anyway. So I think that's where we go here. I think we need to kill the Crawler just because its ability will become a problem later. Yeah. I mean, I guess this thing pinging us is a bit of a problem, but... you know, and it's also a pretty good blocker on the ground. Maybe we do just want to get rid of the Flame Breather a little more. And then, yeah, we want to kill the Crawler. Are we going to get there? Did Brambleworm bail us out? No, it did not. God, that's annoying. Just when I thought we might turn the corner. I mean, we still have a chance, but it went down significantly when they play a Dream Shackle Geist. Okay, that's a pretty good draw here. So, Epicure. Drop them to 5, use our blood. So we're dead in the air this next turn, so we may as well attack them. Yeah, I mean, that's where we are, because this will attack for 7. They can use this to tap down our Brambleworm. So, yeah. We need to be attacking them here to force them to lose some of the damage that they have. Yeah. So you 3 attack. Okay. No real reason to pump our Snarling Wolf, so we will not. Okay. Well, now I think we're probably okay. They had to block there, luckily. The Geist was too late. Just too late. Haha! Brambleworm stabilized us. Thank goodness. A well-timed bounce spell or something from our opponent. I mean, we were really walking a tightrope there, but we didn't fall off of it. So, and that's what matters. Didn't look good there for a while, but, you know. I think that's the most Brambleworm has ever done for me in this format so far. Like, I've been a little disappointed with it overall. I always love that kind of card. But, it's been a little disappointing. I mean, I had to, you know, the draft I keep bringing up is one where I had 3 of them and all kinds of ramp and still lost. Even if I cast all 3 of them, I was losing. Yeah, I mean, it was just like the removal. It was earlier in the format, and I think that mattered. But, like, you know, it just seemed like everybody had Bleed Dry, and that thing just makes Brambleworm really sad. To be fair, it was like a blue-green ramp deck, and blue-green has proven to be not amazing in this format, so. All right, nice hand. Turn 1, Snarling Wolf. Turn 2, Ridge Wolf is a pretty good start. It's a little less impressive of a start now. Is it more likely we draw a human or a wolf? That's kind of what we're asking ourselves here. I think it's pretty close to equally likely. Let's go with the wolf. Yeah, Snarling Wolf has been better for sure. Ooh. Do we want to try to go off with Ripsaw as quickly as possible? Maybe. I think playing the Disciple's probably a little better here, but yeah. Let's just leave up our Bolt, which matters. Not so much against that card, though. Glad I can kill that right away. Okay, yeah, so we'll bolt the Pack Song Pup here. Okay, interesting. So I can use the Suitor here to help me equip the Ripsaw after I transform. That's pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good. Okay, so yeah, we're not going to use the pump because we'd rather equip. So I think we want to put it... I guess the Dancer's already a pretty effective attacker. He doesn't need any help. But he does already have Trample. Which I guess is also kind of a downside to some extent. Let's put it on the Disciple for now. And end our turn. This may be transforming soon, which will be annoying, but I could live with it, I guess, if I have to. Doesn't look like it's transforming this turn. Ooh, great draw. Okay. So we can really bust up combat here effectively. Just cause all kinds of problems. Okay, so yeah, I think we... It is worth noting they have 1 mana up, so the one thing they could have is the +2/+2 trick, but... Yeah. So we attack with both of these, and we see what happens. We are not going to sack a forest here. So we have the pump ability on top of other stuff. So... Okay, so we're going to really mess up this block. The catapult fodder thing isn't gonna... That's not gonna matter, but this will. So... Yeah, 4 power is not enough to matter here. So yeah, we'll, Wolf Strike. And kill Hookhand Mariner. Yeah, the buff just doesn't do anything. So, no reason to use it. Alright, end our turn. Okay. This becomes a 6/6 if I equip it, which means I can't even kill it in combat. I think that's just going to be better here. It also already has Trample, which is nice, so... So they take 6. We play that, and I think we re-equip it to our Disciple. Okay. All right. So, I think we play a Disciple here. And we attack with it. Don't think we go for Trample here. I mean, I guess if they're going to try to go with a chump here, I go for Trample, but it's not like I would Trample that much. I would Trample for 1. So I think we hold on to the Forest here. Yeah, so maybe I was going to get in for 1, but I can live with that. I don't know why I did that, but my hand's empty. They know I can't do anything anyway. I could have done something. I could have moved the equipment, I guess, which would have mattered. I'm glad Howling Moon doesn't do anything here, because that can be a little bit problematic sometimes, but it's not really here. Okay, so do we move the Ripsaw to Deadly Dancer? Yeah, I think we do. Do we? Yeah, I think we do. And then I think we swing out here. We will decline. We've already got Trample, so... Alright. Drops them to 3. I don't know that I want to tell them I don't have anything right here in my hand. It doesn't really give us any sort of advantage. Let's hope they drew a land. They did. Ripsaw's so sweet. Well, so is Deadly Suitor. Deadly Suitor? Alluring Suitor. Those two really won us the game there. Those, you know, they pair pretty well together, too. So I think plate armor is better overall. You have to remember it has the like decrease equip cost and it comes with ward. You trade those two things in for just trample sometimes. And trample sometimes is good, don't get me wrong, but I think ward 1 and being able to equip it for like 2 sometimes is just better. But it's close. I mean, trample can change games in a more intense way overall, but I still think I like plate armor. The other thing about plate armor too, in its respective format, like if we're talking about in limited, was there was also an equipment deck. So I think overall plate armor was like a higher pick in its format than the Ripjaw is in this format, or Ripsaw, or whatever it is. But yeah, I think they're close. I mean, and that's, you know, when I was doing my set review and the Ripsaw was around, I was like, okay, well, it's gonna be really good because plate armor was, and that's how it panned out. Is it actually better to play a Disciple here? Probably not. I think just using our mana more efficiently is probably better. Although, we could play around Syncopate, but it doesn't look like they have it. Okay. Play our Disciple here. Attack them. Alright, so we get to trample and make a blood here. They get to surveil / maybe draw a card. If they do draw a card, I'm not going to be happy, but they did not. So that's good. I sort of feel like maybe we give up a land here with one of our blood. Just because we need to find a little more action. Yeah, that talisman was in that set, it's true. Yeah, so we're gonna throw away one of our lands. I mean, we have enough lands and enough ramp that I'm not super worried about doing it. Okay. So again, Syncopate could be a thing here, but we actually have the mana to pay for it. So yeah, we play Ballista Watcher. Nice on the Toxrill. I haven't played with or against it yet. I'm glad I haven't played against it. Less glad I haven't played with it. Drop him to 8. So this is another human too, which is going to make this next attack pretty potent. Yeah. We don't have any other vampires. However, I can steal the zombie token. That's kind of a big deal here, yeah. So, dominating vampires, steal your token. Then we play Voltaic Visionary. Attack with everything. They're pretty close to dead. I mean, they do get to kill our Watcher, but yeah, they're dead. If that's all they got. That was a good dominating vampire. Thank you for the sub in 4Kai. You know what's weird is we have 2 of the 5 mana 4/4 menace creature that gives us 2 blood, and we haven't seen them at all. Which, you know, it's not like it's one of our best cards, but I was just thinking, I was like, I know I have more vampires, but I haven't really seen them. Oh boy. See, I jinxed myself. I didn't really need these in my opening hand. This is a good hand if we draw mana, but I think the number of high mana cards in it kind of means... I mean, because we don't need... Like, we can play Dawnheart Disciple right away, sure. After that, things get sketchy. We're going to need specifically another red to play this, and then another land, which then would mean we can play that, but then, yeah, I mean, we have to mulligan. So, alright, much better. I think we probably still get rid of a land here. I think it's probably a forest. We have more double red than we do. Ah, yes. The old draw your 1-drop on turn 2. Flame Blessed Bolt. Okay, well. I'm glad it wasn't a Flame Blessed Bolt, because that's a way better deal for our opponent. Okay. They're on the ramp train. Wonder what they might be ramping into. Something scary. Good chance it's a bomb or some such thing. Okay, they're all in on the ramp train. Are they like a 3 Brambleworm deck? It's possible. We really needed to have a fast start against a deck like this. Not doing so is kind of a bummer. I mean, especially because their deck can have fast starts. I don't think we cash in a land here and try to find something to play, because we can play our Celebrants next turn. So yeah, I think there's a good chance. Yeah, Brambleworm, Flourishing Hunter. They don't actually gain any life off of it, which I like, but it's still a huge creature. Alright, so let's play Falconwrath Celebrants here. Now we can start throwing lands away. Although I guess if we want to cast this, we have to pay full price right now, so not so much. Millipede. Ouch. See, and that is what makes the Millipede not awesome. It's just so inconsistent. Okay. Well, I think we attack with our Celebrants here. They have to double block it if they want to block it, and that means I can kill the Millipede. I could also take down the Hunter instead if I wanted to use Flame Blessed Bolt. Maybe that's just better. Yeah, it's probably just better. I think we want to play the Outcast, so I don't think we're going to be getting rid of it. Alright. This time they do gain life. You know, I think we can block that thing. Although, the Flourishing Hunter is going to get so big, but I think we probably still block it. Yeah, so we want to play our Outcast here. Good chance it transforms by our turn. So removal here would be really bad for us, obviously. Kill our Outcast. Yeah, it would be bad. No transformation here. So I can double block and kill the thing, but... Okay, Flame Blessed Bolt's a good draw. I think we'll pass the turn here. Okay. That thing got us earlier today, so... So I think I'm gonna take 8 here. double block seems ill-advised to me overall. And we will bolt the Ridge Wolf. Disciple's okay. Probably better than a random card off the top. So, I think we're probably going to chump here, unfortunately. Alright, so we're going to do this, just to get a counter on it. Our wolf does transform, which is nice. Nice. So, yeah, we play Weaver. And end our turn. Their creatures are big and scary, and I'm sure there's a Brambleworm waiting for us somewhere as well. All right. Fair enough. Okay. Boy. Yeah, I mean, this is not a great situation. I think we double block that. Can only kill one of them unless they have a trick or something. We take 6. And we get to draw a card if they kill the right one. I'm sure they're going to kill the Wedding Crasher, but... Ooh, no, they have a trick or something. Okay, good. No trick. There wasn't a trick. I like that. We do get to draw a card. Which means we'll get to use our blood. Which means we're probably going to want to try to double spell. Ooh. You didn't take any damage, did you? Well, not like I can do anything anyway. Okay. So it's going to untransform. Oh, no, only if I Wolf Strike now would that happen. And I don't quite have the juice for that, do I? Tooth, I have 4 mana. Wolf Strike doesn't do enough. Oh, wait, yes it does. What am I talking about? Yeah, okay. So... Yeah! See if we can turn this thing around. We've had a lot of people scoop after turns like that, but I'll take it. I was actually accounting for the night boost. My mistake was thinking my creature still had 4 power. If we want to be specific about what I was wrong about, that's the answer. That was a really good draw to draw our Ballista guy right there. Well, any creature that could have killed it and given me enough mana would have worked, but yeah. Yeah, we've had a couple people with some premature scoops today. I mean, it is frustrating. Like, our opponent was beating us down hard, and we managed to kind of turn a corner and stabilize. And that's always frustrating, you know, when you're on the receiving end of someone else stabilizing. It's like one of the worst feelings. How would I rate this deck? I think it's... I mean, I would have guessed 5 or 6 wins. And we're 5-1 right now. So, pretty good. I mean, I thought the deck was pretty good. All the removal we have is big. Okay, this is a pretty good hand. The awkward thing that might happen is we don't draw mana ever, but... Our Visionary is a pretty awkward card in the early game. But not... Not crazy awkward, I guess. Well, what you don't want to happen, though, is that you, like, reveal something you can't play. Like, hitting our Brambleworm, you know, I talked about that when we were building the deck. Hitting our Brambleworm with it, for example, would be kind of devastating. So, yeah. I think we probably still use its ability next turn and hope that things go well. I mean, there's no guarantee they do, but, you know. Yeah, so we do... I mean, I could just attack here, but I think this is just going to be better. Nice. So they may kill our Visionary here, but it did draw us a card. The fact we drew something we could play is really good. Yeah, so it's a 2-for-1 if they kill this now. We'd also have a Vampire in play for when we get red mana, which definitely matters. Like, stealing their only blocker. Well, we're not going to steal that one. So, we got some options here. If only night and day were being tracked, you know? So I could double bolt it, which may just be what we need to do. But I think we attack first, and if we can give up one of our creatures on the board... and then bolt it, I think that seems reasonable. Good chance I just take it, in which case I do think we double bolt the Prowler before they start cashing in on the discount. Yeah, so that is what we'll do. It's obviously enough a 2-for-1, but it's a 2-for-1 that I think is worth it. It was going to be a 2-for-1 either way, but yeah. So obviously, you know, our board presence is better, but that's easy to shift, especially because they have a million cards. And they haven't missed a land drop or anything. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So this is another instance where we can do something pretty gross with our dominating vampire. So play the vamp. Steal your token. Play a land. Swing out. Pump this. So they go to very low life. You know, there's enough tokens in this set that, you know, I already figured you'd run one of this every time just because there's enough things to steal and it has decent stats, but it's even better than I thought with 0 other vampires, at least in this draft. I mean, it is confirmation bias. I've played it before and never stolen a token, and today we've stolen 2 tokens, so maybe it's not a clear indication of anything, but it is interesting. Each of our creatures does lethal damage. Okay, so they're relying on Reckless Impulse to get them out of this, and it doesn't... I don't think Laid to Rest is going to do that job. So I think we're probably going to get there. They do still have 3 cards. Obviously enough. Alright. So I do want to pitch this forest. Well, this is going to make me feel kind of bad, but we're going to go ahead and Wolf Strike in response. Yeah, got us there. Yeah, yesterday's deck underperforming, the blue-white one. I mean, it did have some serious flaw. Oh, you're talking about the one we went 1 and 3 with. Yeah, that one really underperformed. Yeah, that one was sad. I think this one's overperforming a little, but I mean, you know, we have a deck jammed full of good removal, and we've got enough synergy that we're getting some extra value out of cards. And, like, our overall card quality is pretty high. Like, we have some strong uncommons, you know, like the Alluring Suitor and the Ripsaw, for example. Those are both uncommon cards that if you saw them at rare, you'd be like, yeah, I could see that being a rare. Just in terms of like power level and everything. So we've got some good cards. I mean, we do have less synergy than you usually want. Like this deck usually, you know, you need some Pack Song Pups and stuff, but I think we've made up for it overall. Ballista Watcher, that's another one that if it was uncommon, it would be like, yeah, I could see that. So I think this is a keep. It is always awkward when, you know, you have your wilds. I mean, with the number of ones we have, I still think we probably should be playing the wilds just because it makes our mana so much better, but it does feel like a bummer in a hand like this, that's for sure. Do I lead with the wilds? I think so. Yeah. If they hadn't played a creature, I may have been more inclined to play the wolf, but they did, so. Yeah, Traveling Minister doesn't rumble a whole lot, but that one just did. Okay, so they could play a human next turn. That would be cool, but I'm more likely to play a wolf because I already can. So I think we play Hungry Ridge Wolf here. That's a great Flame Blessed Bolt target right there. I mean, Traveling Minister is a pretty good one too, but yeah. I think we play Snarling Wolf here. Bolt the Crawler. Attack for 3. Okay. Well, do I want to attack with both? Probably. Although, honestly, if they block with the trainee, I probably do not pump the wolf. So, I think just attacking for 3 is probably better. Like, yeah, pumping the wolf on that turn wouldn't have been worth not playing this, I don't think. But maybe, you know, I don't know. So we can play our Wolfkin Outcast if we use the mana from this. I'm not convinced we want to in this situation. Maybe I am convinced. Yeah, we probably do. Let's attack with our Ridge Wolf. Good chance it eats, like, Blinding Light or whatever, but... Or a Trick. A Trick is likely. We don't have a way to punish it. We've punished a lot of people doing things when we have mana up and, like, Wolf Strike, but we don't have it that time. But we do get to play out this massive Werewolf, who's very good here. All of my creatures dying right now draws me a card, and that's always a good place to be. Always a good place to be. Okay. I kind of think taking advantage of this mana to go wider and wider is good. I think I just attack with the Crasher here. And then we play Celebrants. Yeah. Play another problematic creature for them. Also keeps our wolves transformed. That's a little more of a problem. Do I, like, dig for a wolf strike here? It's not the worst plan in the world. So, let's cash in one of these, and I think we throw away, like, I feel like Dawnheart Disciple, not the most impactful thing. Okay. Okay. Well. So I can double spell here. I don't hate the idea of attacking and double spelling. So they have to double block this, and maybe that just means I take down a token. But then I can just play another one. So... But yeah, I think we probably just attack with Wedding Crasher. They chump it. Do I want to double spell here, or do I want to play Celebrants? I mean, this thing cranking out 2 tokens is a real problem, but it also makes my board less imposing. But I think it's a bigger downgrade overall for their board than mine. So I think we are going to double spell. Because now it's just a 3/4, and it only makes 1 insect when it attacks instead of 2. You know, the werewolves in the last set that were really good at uncommon too. There were some very strong ones. The problem was more there weren't any good common ones, and there are in this set. I mean, this is one example. Okay, so they want to transform, which I think I'm okay with overall. So let's do this. We need to find one of our removal spells. Hey! So they may have a way to interact, and they know we have this Wolf Strike now, so that's something worth keeping in mind. Right, they know I have it. I guess they don't. They don't know. Okay, well, in that case... I kind of think we swing out here. Yeah. Let's see what they got. So I could get potentially a big blowout here with Wolf Strike, but it really depends on what our opponent has. Because, yeah, I could use Wolf Strike, pump this thing's power, so it wins this, so they kill each other and then kill another one of their creatures. But the flip side there is that if they kill my guest in response, it's pretty devastating. So it might just be better to go with the less... powerful but safer option of using Wolf Strike on a different creature to kill the wolf. Although, if that happens, I guess we still have the same problem. They'll kill the creature I target, and then the guest will die too. So I think we try to go for the bigger blowout here. Yeah, we're going to try to go for the bigger blowout. See if we get it. I have doubts we're going to get it, but if we do, it's going to be big. If we don't, it's also not a disaster. Okay. Well, could have been worse. I think. Oh, I just missed 2 damage with the Snarling Wolf. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us. So yeah, they can attack and make 2 blockers here, which isn't a lot of fun, but... So let's go ahead and pitch this land. See if we can find something better. We do not. Okay. Well, I think we swing out. Can't believe I missed that 2 damage. I mean, I can, you know. It's very me to miss that 2 damage. But it's a little frustrating. So, I think we definitely pump our wolf here if this is how they're going to block. Yeah, I think we still pump our wolf here. Let's see how many tricks they have this time. Right there at 1. They would be dead if I had been more intelligent. Alright, so we swing out again. Yeah, it does suck that I missed that damage. I don't think it's going to come back to bite us, is the good news. We just had too dominating of a board presence for that to be the case. I'm going to play the Celebrants and not anything else. They could have the Sweeper. So in the event they do, I'd like to hold on to this one creature to help us do the last few damage. I mean, maybe I should have done the other way around. But I knew the Celebrants would make it very hard for them not to take lethal this turn. Okay, so you're already transformed, and that's a big deal here. Yeah. All right. Good job, Kevin. Are you playing in day 2 of the Open? I guess that would mean you are. All right, we got to 7 wins with that thing. I think it was a pretty good deck overall, obviously. We did have some lucky draws here and there, but The deck had the stuff that that you want to have. You know, we didn't have the most synergy ever, but we had good removal, powerful cards, and those can get the job done. They did there.